generally speaking, in a perfect world, these rules can help reduce the price of owning an airplane, more particularly airplanes in the experimental category. Guess what? Just like you have experimental fixed wing airplanes, you also have experimental helicopters. And we've covered a few of them on this channel. First that comes to mind is the Mosquito. This is a one-seater helicopter that you generally fly for fun, but also you can fly this helicopter to build time, real time. So with the Mosquito, you have a piston engine version and you have a turbine engine version. If you were to opt for the turbine engine, you could build actual turbine hours in this experimental helicopter. And it will cost you a fraction of what it will cost to say fly a turboprop. What am I getting at? If you were to purchase a Mosquito, say a used one right now, turbine version, $1,000 for this helicopter. You have to be within 300 pounds. You're burning a fraction of the fuel compared to say you go fly an M600 or a TBM 7800, whichever version. You're going to be burning a lot more fuel in a turboprop than your own tiny little turbine helicopter. And the cost to buy this bird is only 50 grand. Maybe the price has gone up a little bit due to inflation. But still, you can find these birds for less than $100,000. What I'm trying to say is getting into a helicopter can actually be much more affordable than buying an airplane, even the low-end airplanes. High-end and 50 from Hill Helicopter. This is not a helicopter that's out yet. It's still in research and development stage, but man, what they have right now, if they can come to market with this product, it will completely change the machine that is comparable with, say, the Robinson R66 turbine helicopter. And that bird costs about $1 million, whereas the HX50 will cost that. But you can afford a low-end have a Rotor X, another helicopter we've covered on this channel. Unlike the HX50 or the Mosquito that only has one seat, the Rotor X is actually the most practical helicopter in this category. It only has 2 seats, which I promise you, most of the time, it's just going to be you. But you can fill up those 2 seats with full fuel and go places. The Rotor X is a great performing helicopter. It's much lighter, but that engine is turbocharged and you can use car gas. So imagine the fuel economy on this thing. But the best part is you can buy to build and it costs you less money to build than say an airplane. The average to build your standard 4-seater experimental airplane would be about $100,000, whereas the average it will cost to build in fantasy world. If you've thought about getting into helicopters,
for sure.
getting your license to fly helicopters, you can obtain ownership for a much more affordable price than you would in a lot of fixed-wing airplanes.
I
It
should
does
get
take more
one,
unique
boy.
skills to fly helicopters, but the upside is these birds are not as expensive to get into as you may have thought. My personal goal is to check out more helicopters this year, more so experimental helicopters this year, more so experimental helicopters. So stay tuned. I promise you, I'm gonna get you more options that you can look into. If you enjoyed this video or have any questions,
Give them a
please
like.
comment below and also give the video a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on. Again, my name is Mike, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.
Maybe it was your
It scrambled down the tree, and that type run up to 25 miles an hour. Hey y'all, wildlife ecologist, and I've been studying bears for 13 years. Today we're going to be looking at bear attacks in movies and on TV and judging how real they are. So already in this clip, I see the very like cinematic trope of a giant brown bear standing up on its hind legs and like roaring at a person. Honestly, in real life, bears are very quiet. They really don't do a lot of growling. They don't do a lot of roaring. But if there's a territory dispute, two big male alpha bears might actually stand up on their hind legs and roar at each other and fight. But if there's a big bear and a small person, that bear isn't usually going to go through all that trouble. You saw that big swipe of the ground. That's something that brown bears and black bears do. In fact, I have experienced a bear do a bluff charge on me, and it is frightening and terrifying, but really they're just trying to freak you out so that you back up and walk away and they don't actually have to attack you. This is great for TV, but it's not biologically accurate. This bear, even though it looks like it could be 1,000 pounds, it could scale that wall no problem. Those claws could dig into the wood and could climb up all the way and then terrorize all those people that are watching. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I really wish the bear had climbed up at the end. Let me make it clear, that is what you don't do. Even if it looks like you might be attacked by a bear, you never run. It's because humans cannot outrun bears. When humans run, it signals to the predator that you're prey. Like that's what a little deer would do or a little rabbit would do. But when we stand still, that's so different than what prey would do that they get the message. No way. Bears as big and burly as they are can also like get into teeny tiny small spaces. I mean, I've seen bears like squeeze themselves into anything they want. So again, if it wanted to hurt him, it would. This is interesting. So we see that they made a ring of fire, and that's their tactic of protecting themselves. First, no one should ever do this in the wilderness, okay? It will start a forest fire. But two, really is something to this, and that's that most wild animals are afraid of fire. It's just something that they haven't experienced, right? They can't make fire themselves. So as much as I don't want anyone to ever use this tactic, I believe it would be effective to keep you safe.
How are we going to lure him? Blood!
Did you see him? Blood! That's not going to work. Okay, so like bears are driven by hunger. Blood does not necessarily signal. So this is actually something that fair to something. Maybe we set up on the individual bear. We'll put out what just like that, like a little piece of cloth, and we'll put some kind of scent in it. We could literally use like vanilla extract. They'll come right to that rag to see what it is.
Bears are a very unique animal. With this idea of what a bear is.
Yes.
Teddy bear, Yogi, and fucking Coca-Cola commercial. And this is where it's really fucked up. And,
Yeah.
they're cannibals. 100% of them are cannibals.
Yeah.
One of the bears kill and start consuming a cub.
Oh, yeah.
The female scared the bear off and then ate her own kid.
Yeah. I mean, he's watched them rip cubs and rip them in half and eat them and spit them out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and once you've seen that, you're, no matter how many bear cartoons we show,
Sebastian, you have just seen a thing. You have to let go of this obsession, human. Now,
how clear that bitch gonna get. See, it's getting clear. I'm start tripping like that. I'm put it to the 2160. Bitch at 40. Age 80. See? See? Just the
So New York rapper Chef G and Sleepy Hollow, they